Hi, everybody. So, Deuteronomy 6 is an extremely important chapter, not just to our family, but to the world. Because our Father gave us a set of instructions, and a lot of people are like, well, that was for another time. It was for the people of Moses. It was for something other than that. And a lot of people say it's just strictly for that land. And I don't believe it's just strictly for that land because our Father wants us to walk in His covenant so that when we can go to the land, we will understand His laws, statutes, and commands so that we can run His holy land like He wants us to, like He has begged His people and commanded them for years and years. So, Deuteronomy 6. These are the commands, decrees, and laws the Lord your God directed me to teach you, to observe in the land that you are crossing the Jordan to possess, so that you, your children, and the children after them may fear the Lord your God as long as you live by keeping all his decrees and commands that I give you, and so that you may enjoy long life. Now, this is where I believe Israel is what the Bible has defined as anyone who keeps the laws, statutes, and commands of our Father is Israel. There is no land. The people on the land of Israel today are Turks, the people they poached, the dignified people of our Father. They're not even in covenant with our Father because they have all sorts of stuff that our Father has said in his laws, statutes, and commands that you wouldn't have on his land if you wanted him to walk with you. So when it says hear Israel or hear, O Israel, this is the Shema. This is hear, O Israel. So this is hear people. Hear you, hear me, hear everybody. Hear Israel and be careful to obey so that it may go well with you and that you may increase greatly in a land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Listen, this is why my kids are, I guess, what people would call, if you put them in Christian circles or whatnot, they would be very sharp in biblical stuff because we've been through this book so many times. Our Bibles are black. And so he says, this is like a command, right? He says, impress them on your children. And in the King, it says, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. And that is a command. That is something we should be doing today, that our kids are walking with the same fervent power and passion that this Deuteronomy 6 talks about, right? Impress the laws, statutes, and commands on your children, folks. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Guys, do you see how important the laws of God are? To our Father, this is everything to him. He wants us to be his people. This right here is a covenant. This is him telling you, I will be your God if you will be my people. This is how to walk with our Father. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates. And in my house, there we have them on the outside of the house. And when we built this house, every entrance of this house has a Bible inside of a Ziploc bag that we buried in the doors of this house, because this is how important the Torah is to us. It is everything, guys. It is everything. And again, this does not take anything away from salvation. If we were walking with the laws, statutes, and commands of our Father, we wouldn't slap our Messiah across the face because of the blood that he had to shed for us, because we are not walking in our Father's laws. This is a love letter right here to you. So we're to write them on our door frames of our houses and our gates. When the Lord your God brings you into the land he swore to your fathers, and we take this for whatever land yours is, for whatever house it is. If you have a house that doesn't leak, our Father has given that to you, right? He can give, he can take. He has blessed you with a house. So you're supposed to take this into the land that he's given. And this is not the same land, obviously, that they gave to this. But if you want to understand how our Father works, this is what he demanded of his people back in the days. I might have a dog. Sorry about that, folks. I'm just sitting here whacking away the dogs as I'm trying to do this. Sorry. I'll leave it in. All right. So when the Lord your God brings you into the land he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you a land with large, flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. Then when you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. Guys, do you have a house right now? Are you free as we can be without these masks on, right? We're enslaved in Hasatan's world, but these commands are good, right? You have a house, right? The Father has blessed you with this. Bless your family and bless your house by learning his laws, statutes, and commands. Follow them diligently. Show them to your kids. Write them on your doorposts. Put them everywhere because they are so exciting. This is why our Father, this is not something that's boredom. These laws of God are good simply because they keep you alive and they show you how our Father's heart and mind works. If you're walking and you understand the laws and you know the 600 laws, which are not that hard to follow. People always I can't follow the laws of God. Yes, you can. You've never tried because you think you haven't, because you've been brainwashed by a corrupt church system that completely annihilates the laws of God. This is part of it. This is a love letter to you. You are Israel, folks. You are Yisrael. Listen to this. Don't forget this, guys. Fear the Lord your God, Yahuwah, guys. Fear him. Serve him only and take your oaths in his name. Do not follow after other gods. Guys, Mammon is a god. These people that traded the Manny for money and that have done great evil, that is the god of Mammon, the gods of the people around you. Look, if you're not obeying the laws of God and you're not keeping the Sabbath, you're not following Yahuwah. You're following other gods. They're not Yahuwah. They're gods made in other people's images, gods you have made and formulated. The God who lets you eat pork, that is not Yahuwah. That's another God, right? The God that lets you touch pork, dead pork, and all this stuff, and flesh. That's not Yahuwah. That's not the God of the Bible, folks. For the Lord your God, who is among you, is a jealous God, and his anger will burn against you, and he will destroy you from the face of the land. Do not put the Lord your God to the test as you did at Massah. Be sure to keep the commands of the Lord your God and the stipulations and decrees he has given you. Let's go back to the king. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God and his testimonies and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. Do what is right and good in the Lord's sight. Guys, did turning Manny in, is that right? Yeah. What are you doing today? Is it right? Whatever's in your life, do you have the right weights and measurements? Are you keeping the Sabbath? Are you keeping your neighbor? Are you honoring your neighbor as you would God? Are you being respectful to your neighbor? Will you help the neighbor? The people on the side of the road, are you stopping and ministering to them, giving them money, giving them love, giving them a hug, helping these people, right? Is this what we're doing? Because the two of the greatest commands, one of them stems from this. The first greatest command that our Messiah said is not of the 10 commandments. It's of this, Deuteronomy 6. It's the Shema. Love your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love him. Do what is right and good in the Lord's sight, so that it may be well with you and that you may go in and take over the good land. And this goes for everything that you're doing today, guys. The Lord promised on oath to your ancestors, thrusting out all your enemies before you, as the Lord said. In the future, folks, in the future, we are in the future. When your son asks you, what is the meaning of the stipulations, decrees, and laws the Lord our God has commanded you? Guys, this is you. You are the future. When thy son asks thee in the time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord our God hath commanded thee? That thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondsmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt, and with a mighty hand. Guys, you are from these people. We are all from these people. We are from the seed of Adam. We were all mixed in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. This is our instructions for now. Not the 501c3 churches that have you worshiping on the wrong day and think that Paul's the God of the Christian church. It's incredible. It's incredible what people do. And the Lord showed signs and wonders, and this is what he says. You're supposed to remember this because we were all slaves at one time. Our ancestors were all slaves. We've forgotten our past, so we are going to repeat the evil in the future. So, before our eyes, the Lord sent signs and wonders great and terrible on Egypt and Pharaoh and his whole household. This is what you're to be telling your children. This is what you're to say. This is why we keep the commands of God, because God will basically contain us. He will bless us. He will keep us in his covenant. He will keep us from great evil if we are serving him. He's looking for his people now. Are you his people? Will you be his people? This is what the Bible wants. Will you be a soldier for our Almighty Father, who gave his only begotten Son so that we may rise up, and the blood of the Lamb will save us from the curse of the Torah? Is this you? Are you a Deuteronomy 6 person? Or have you taken the laws, statutes, and commands of our God and put them on the tree so that you can do whatever it is you want to do? Look, that's not covenant with our Father. That's not what the Bible says. From the page 1 to the very end of Revelations, it is all about the laws, statutes, and commands of our Father. And we are in a time right now where we have no idea what the future is going to bring. We know the vaccine is coming. We know those of us who will not take it may end up dead. Are you ready to cross over? Are you ready to stand upon a foundational truth that we should not be taking things that will make us chimeras? Right? This is the time to stand and the time to fall. Have you sold your soul to Hasatan? Are you one of those people that give up Manny for money, that will go bear false witness against Manny? These people are all doomed. Their souls are all going to hell. They can't do things like this and expect the kingdom. They're not going to be unholy people reigning with our Father and his Son in Zion. Who's going to reign with him? It's not going to be unholy devils and demons that are polluting and populating this land. Guys, the darkness is upon us, and our Father is showing the light. He's taking people like myself who will attack demons. I have no fear of them. I have no fear of death. I have no fear of any of this. They can take my life. They can take everything. But the laws of our Father are what I will stand upon until I am dead. And this is what I am asking you today. Are you ready? Are you ready to cross over when this time comes? Guys, we have days, weeks, months until this vaccine is here. It is coming within this. Are you ready? Have you prepared your family? Are you ready for this? Guys, there's no other name under heaven by which you may be saved. None. You will never find another answer except by the name of the Son of God, Yahushua HaMashiach. That is him. That is the only name that he will coach you, that will take you where you need to go. But that's the first step. That second step is to start reading Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Wash, rinse, repeat. Again, again, again. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Forget Paul for now. He went and created a whole ton of churches. We need to undo the entire church scheme. That thing is corrupt. It's evil. And it's just it's a devil's pit. Hasatan is the God of the Christians' Sunday church. If you guys don't understand this in the times we are in, Hasatan Satan has realmed. He's reigned. He is here. It's upon us, guys. Make your choice today. Much love to you. I'm out.